Welcome to the judge presentation of Legal Challenge 4th edition. And today joining me from the sunny Nicosia, which you cannot tell probably by the picture, but at least it's sunnier than down here in Vilnius, is Roman Zanin, who is the General Counsel of Wargaming. Roman, why your job doesn't say General Counsel?
Hi guys, why my job saying General Counsel?
No, it's something bigger, right?
Yeah, it's a General Counsel Tax and Compliance. I work also with tax people and compliance people in my company.
Compliance being not a part of legal or a part of legal?
It's not a part of legal. It has actually a bit wider scope, including a lot of different stuff. Compliance, very compliance specific.
But privacy is compliance or not?
Privacy is it's an interesting question because privacy evolves into something very special, somewhere between legal, compliance, and technology. We consider privacy being more legal than compliance, but definitely you're right. Privacy has some compliance gene inside.
So for people in compliance, they are all lawyers? Or it's more of like I'm trying just to define.
No, they compliance specialists. Some of them might have legal education in the past, but they compliance specialists with the different certifications and all of that. And it's kind of depending what you're looking for. If you want to do KYC or sanction compliance, very interesting theme. ML. If you work in a public company. You are very strict on ML and all of this. Almost policing your partners in that respect. Yeah, and they about this. Yeah.
And would you say that the compliance is more local, whereas legal is more global, so to go back for your legal team, I know that you don't really care where people come from. Like you don't really look for a specific. I don't know. We need a Brazilian lawyer, we need like a Chinese lawyer, we need a Russian lawyer. So you expect your legal team to be knowledgeable about the whole thing. For compliance, is it the same thing, or you have the specific people in compliance who just specialize, let's say, in the Cypriot compliance or in the European compliance?
It's a global compliance. It's we are looking for someone international, with some knowledge and skills applicable internationally. But there are major jurisdictions driving compliance here, like States, UK, Germany, and people from those jurisdictions usually tend to have actually better experience. Let's put that way. But it doesn't matter that someone from other jurisdiction might not have a try or chance to be in a compliance. Obviously, yes, and we do have also international team of compliance specialists, which is one British, one Czech, one Estonian and one British, 3 guys doing the job of compliance, Well,
I mean, congratulations on snatching the Estonian. It's the worldwide competition. If you hire someone from Iceland, you win.
It's actually it's a great talent pool, Estonia. Anyway.
Sure. So how big is your legal team? Outside of compliance, just legal.
Legal is 22, 23 people in illegal on a global level, on a regional level, and local level.
How many offices? Not offices. Let's say how many locations?
You mean lawyers? Locations for lawyers. We mostly have lawyers in 3 locations. It's Nicosia, Prague, and now we're starting Vilnius. Yeah. And our global lawyers, meaning guys who actually have some collaboration and impact and involvement in the global business, they located in those offices. But also we have our pan-regional colleagues who sometimes do global business in the States, in Austin and in Korea, Seoul, and some local legal teams, Minsk, St. Pete, Minsk, St. Pete mainly.
So you optimize for your internal clients, as I understand. So, for example, the legal team is based in Nicosia because the management is based in Nicosia because this is how you help them. Okay.
Yeah, headquarters is here in Nicosia, Cyprus. Yeah, it's easier to have people here for certain disciplines. Let's put that way. And certain disciplines require to be here for proximity, for some reasons. Yeah.
How much do your people talk to others in the company? I mean, is it, let's say I am someone from the outside. I have no idea about Wargaming. I know that Wargaming has over 5,000 employees. I know that you have over 20 offices. So when I think of joining the legal team of a global company like this, and there's a few others that are similarly huge. So the first thing, you help me understand that you've got key locations where you make decisions, where the lawyers have to be present to be a part of the whole decision-making process. Now, as a lawyer joining your team, do I expect that every lawyer in your team talks to others? Or your lawyers talk to, let's say, the management of the legal team, and then the management is exposed to everyone else?
Yeah, that's the right question. But actually, having these three locations doesn't mean that we are not able to land the new person, for example, to another location. We have a wonderful office in Guildford. We have a wonderful office in Berlin, and everywhere. Yeah, definitely our colleagues can be there, but it's a bit of challenge, to be in a location alone. Yeah, because it's communication and all of that. Okay, COVID time right now.
It comes and goes. Yeah. I mean, it will be gone.
But actually, that's one of the key considerations when we hire someone. Yeah, actually, where to invite that person to join. Because if you join our Cyprus team, you have a great exposure to people who worked with the company for the last 8-7 years. Yeah, the same in Prague, the same in Lithuania. Yeah, if you join, for example, our Minsk office, yeah, even we don't have right now anyone working with a global business in Minsk, yeah, advising global business in Minsk, it's still a great exposure, but not to legal colleagues, but to the business. Because in Minsk, we do have a huge studio behind the biggest product. But it's also a great opportunity.
I guess as a new lawyer, you're more interested in being next to other lawyers to pick up everything from them. Like, how do you work? How do you do? Yeah.
Actually, that's interesting because we can do mix. We can do mix. Yeah, a person can sit, for example, in Minsk or, for example, in Chicago. Chicago working on our Counsel products and on some new products. Yeah. A person can sit in Chicago but travel and spend significant time outside of Chicago to be with the team. And actually, it gives both. It actually reaches both targets. To be with the development team,
and
to get a friendship with them and all of that, but at the same time build necessary connections within the team.
So you're heading Wargaming's legal team for how many years?
I started at the beginning of 2013.
So it'll be 8 years.
8 years.
Okay, and in that time, the legal team grew, increased in size. Did you see any changes in how people in the company work with the legal team? Were you able to integrate? Like, how close is the integration, for example? When people in the development studio think of something, do they know whom to call? Do they even feel the need, the desire? Or they call a lawyer in Prague office and the lawyer is like, hello, yeah, no, can't do that, no, bye.
It's a big theme in a legal profession, this no attitude. But coming back to your question, these 8 years I can compare with you knock on the door to someone, and you just, introduce yourself to being, really part of the family. That's actually 8 years journey, because when I started 2013, legal was quite new profession for the Wargaming. Yeah. I can compare that with someone, putting you under a sport and trying to understand who you are, how to speak with you and all of that. And it's obviously that you need to help that person to explain who you are, how to work with you and all of that. And I think the team did a great job. Did the great job. We turned actually attitude from the business towards lawyers from a you guys compliance, you are guys policing us, you are giving us directions, to something more partnership. If you consider business partners, that position exists in a finance world, for example, or HR world, like a business partners. We are more business partners with a business, and sometimes just a few weeks ago, I had a call with one of our major products, and they said, Roman, we are calling you not for a legal advice. We are calling you for some kind of, communication advice, maybe psychologist, like advice counseling, because we noticed that you guys actually not me particular. They were calling me because of my colleagues. They started to behave differently. Because 2 years ago we used to receive advice and we always thought that it's a kind of direction. You go that direction. And now guys, the last year you're discussing with us things, and actually matters are so complicated that there is no direction. And how we should actually act in that situation. And they were actively asking me actually how to cooperate with the lawyers in this partnership. And we discussed, and they reached for just a simple advice, and they wanted to hear that, guys, we are building partnership. Some matters we can provide you direction, saying do that, don't do that. But for example, in some complicated matters like minors privacy, loot boxes, operating in some tricky jurisdictions, there is no white and black advice. And we need to build that dialogue with you, and actually to reach to some conclusion which probably might work only for your product in those circumstances. And we all, including lawyers, taking some level of risk. Because we know that it's the best possible solution, but it's not ideal solution.
It sounds like when you go to a national park and there's a ranger station, and the first thing you go and you meet the ranger and you say, hey, I need a hike for 2 hours. Okay, go there. Okay, I have 4 hours. Go there. But as you do it more often, the ranger will tell you, actually, like looking at you and your equipment, and I know you already for some time, take this hike, stop halfway, climb this hill, then you get the different trail. So it becomes interesting when they trust you that you're not an idiot, and you trust them that they're giving you like positive advice. Great. A question I always had was, if you have so many in-house lawyers, why do you use law firms? Is it local advice? Is it the experience that you cannot attain internally? Like, what is this? When do you decide to engage someone outside?
First of all, it's sourcing a great experience. It's a sourcing, cross-discipline, cross-industry experience. We are Wargaming. We're strong in certain matters, but we have some self-awareness. We understand that some actually spheres are not very strong in our team or some in our business. And for example, giving a call to Sean Kane has a cool consequences. I know that consequences have a negative connotation, but it actually gives you something more, because Sean can provide you a view how other folks doing certain things. Not mentioning names or something, but he can give you advice based on his dealing with the industry, and that's what we are looking for from external counsels. But at the same time, you're totally right about specific matters, very specialized matters. Let's put that way, and local advice. Because none of us know something about Iran. none of us know something very detailed about Brazil.
Turkey,
and China.
yeah. Sure. So you go to Vanessa because you try to understand, and she knows everything. Okay. And in the first case, you act like I think I don't know, maybe with Paul Gardner we discussed it, like a church, where you come to the priest in the church and you say, "Father, I have a difficult time raising my 3 kids. I feel like I'm tired all the time," and he's like, "Well, don't worry. Everyone who has 3 kids is tired like this. Everyone comes to me with the same issue." You're like, "Okay, well, I can handle it." So you go to work with the games industry firms that work a lot with different clients who accumulate experience and who are able to tell you this is normal or this deal is not normal. This is very unusual deal. This is fair. This is not fair, because they've been exposed to many deals. So this is why you go to like specialized firms.
I can give you even more example with the name of the firm. You go to Taylor Wessing Germany because you know that Taylor Wessing Germany advises a lot of tech companies, not on the gaming
industry, but the tech.
Yeah. And when you deal with you tech provider for some, like render technology, P2P technology, servers providers, you go to them because you know that those guys actually work with the biggest, clients in that industry. And you're saying, "Hey, Tobias, hey, Gregor, please tell me how those guys doing those things," because you don't know them. I mean, like, it's a completely new business, and it's a different business. It's not video games.
Yeah, you go
need to understand.
You go to the cafe at the top of Taylor Wessing Hamburg, and there is a guy with a coffee. And suddenly they say, "Oh, this is Carsten. He just won a litigation case on open source." And you're like, "Wow, I want to know more about this. Like, hello, tell me more." Yeah. So you're looking for also like expertise, which is not necessarily games industry, but connected or related to, and so on. Okay. When you're looking to hire people into the legal team, what would you say is a sign that the person will not be happy as an in-house lawyer, and a sign that the person will be happy? I mean, over the 8 years, you probably saw people come and say, "Oh, okay, come and go," because this is not what they wanted. So they would go to a different business, let's say to a different part of Wargaming. Yeah, they'll move to business development, they'll move to something else, to production, to, like, I think one of your colleagues became the administrator for a studio, or an independent studio that you used to have.
No, not admin, but chief operational officer.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what do you think makes people stick, and what do you think is a sign that maybe this is not for them?
It's difficult to identify one or two, like signs. Yeah. But actually, person should be interested in first of all in video games as such. Yeah. And also in legal problematics, let's say.
Do you demand people to play World of Tanks?
It's a great thing to be associated with the product. What can I say? Yeah, because if the person associated with the product, that person sticks and stays for a longer time for sure. Yeah, it's forever. It's not even a job. It's a hobby. From and it has some wow effect. I know some colleague of mine, not from legal function, but he's a great gamer he's a great player in the World of Tanks. Yeah, and when he joined, probably he never tired. He never tired because it's his favorite game and all of that. Yeah, that has some positive effect. We don't demand our people playing in the World of Tanks. It happens organically. Lawyers anyway turn to World of Tanks, World of Warships, and other products, because they need to know the product. They need to know the product, and you asked prior that you asked about our, how we're being perceived by business and all of that, and what's actually different. And we're trying to build this partnership culture. That means you speak with the business, you speak with the developers. Yeah,
this means you actually know the product, like you.
You cannot come to developers not knowing the product. You should spend some time. You should understand how they work and all of that. Yeah, and that allows you to build this foundation with them, that they know they actually they value that you spend time in the product, because developers understand that lawyers are not the great players usually. Yeah, they understand that we probably spend our free time for different things and all of this. Yeah, and but they highly appreciate when we show them that, guys, I spent 500 battles last month just to try to understand this particular thing, why you're doing that. Yeah, and that's actually helps you to build foundation and actually brings you to next level.
Well, how much stress is involved in being a lawyer in-house at a global company? Would you say that it's an easier job than being at a law firm? When you get an assignment and, hey, I need this by Monday, and then, okay, there goes my weekend. Or it's more of a chill out, you know?
I would, knowing outside counsels, having friends in the law industry, in the professional advice industry, yeah, I know one different factor between external advisors and internal advisors. Yeah, because doing career outside, lawyers usually think about the KPIs, and usually it's the billable hours and revenue. Yeah, and definitely in house you don't have those two. Mm-hmm. You have a less stress because you don't have billable hours, you don't have revenue KPI. Yeah, but it comes with a cost probably. Yeah, with a cost KPI to be more effective for the business, to provide the best advice, and all of that. I cannot say that being in-house is less stress. Uh-huh. Yeah, or some, leisure where you can, I don't know, have additional time or something like that. Yeah, it's probably not the right metric to compare those two, but definitely being inside allow you to build partnership more and less care about billable hours and their revenue, but focusing on the value you bring into the product, to the game, to the teams, and all of that. Because some law firms, most of law firms, and actually all law firms in the summit understand what building partnership means, and they spend some time with the clients, helping them, speaking with them, and doing such stuff. Essentially, being internal, you're doing that job every day. You're building your partnership every day. You're spending
with the same pro
bono, pro bono, and all of this.
What's the best feature of a law firm that you work with externally? And would you work with a new law firm? Like at which?
Sure.
Okay, at which point would you work with a new law firm? Because let's say, okay, I'd like to work with this guy because he's in the business for 20 years. This girl, she's in the business for 20 years. Everyone is like super experienced and so on. I'm at the global company. I can afford it. So I just go for the best of the best. When does it happen that you decide to work with someone new? Like, what leads you to this decision?
It might be something completely new sphere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It might be particular expertise or combination of skills we need for that project, or that might be completely driven by desire to try. I met a few law firms in the summit. We never worked with them. Yeah, we heard about the expertise in a certain areas. We never had a case in those areas. Once we have a case, we came to them. And we say like, hey man, let's work on this, because we heard from Valve that you were helping them with this and all of this, yeah, just to try and see how they work. It helps, and I have fantastic examples that it helps. It works. During even last year, we started to work with one new firm, which we met. We met the partner in a summit. Uh-huh. Yeah, I heard presentation. And that partner being on the panel, I knew him prior, but I never met. Yeah, and he recently changed law firm. Yeah, and we knew that he was a great combo of skills, expertise for our project. We hired him with a new firm, and he delivered. He helped us to complete our project.
It out by the end of your talk.
No names.
I'm not going to give names. I'm not going to give names. It's just that as you were talking, I was going through the panels and thinking, changed firms. Okay, this is the subsection.
It was visible.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it was a huge project. It was a huge project, and we need a combo of different skills, not only legal skills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah, yeah.
Now I understand. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you go. So it's a reputational thing. If you're a law firm, you practice in the games industry or in a related area, and you have clients in games industry, and you do a good job, then these clients will recommend you to their colleagues. So Valve will recommend it to, I don't know, Blizzard to Riot, and so on. And then when you're in the market for something like that, you will go to them and say, hey, we heard good things about you, and whether or not it's a country specific, whether or not it's something in Turkey, something in Russia, or I don't know, anything. Okay, great. What would you be looking at in the challenge? Wrapping up, two last questions. So what would be like, what is the best feature that the teams can show in the hearing? Considering that this is a moot court, but we like to imitate the real thing. We shouldn't really say, oh, it's a little competition, friendly. No, like, what is the key that the team should show to win?
It's something coming not from a legal, and not legalese or something. It's being included, being passionate, and like live into that problematic in a matter, in a case, and actually, like be passionate and try to show its case the best, in the best way, and all of this. It's a kind of combination of being ready to answer, taking a challenge, and being creative in how you addressing a challenge, and also being doing your best, trying to deliver your point. That's probably what I would be looking for. Let's be nervous about that. Just forgot about that it's serious or something. Yeah, be in the case. Try to explain your position. Keep your eyes open. Listen to the judges, to their opponents, and try to address that challenge.
Yeah. Any advice because of the digital nature? Any changes? Like, you went through some digital hearings, I'm sure, last year. So is there a...
We experienced arbitration in Zoom. Based on that arbitration, I would say that keep your pets under control, for them not coming and not jumping on you. It might be a good sign. It might actually give you kind of human nature, or something, like show you from human nature perspective, but it actually disturbs you. Usually after that you just like trying to getting back, and it takes like 10 minutes, and we have a very strong time limits. I mean, like take good environment, try to manage that environment to be under control for 3 hours of this challenge. Be prepared with your coffee, tea, juices, water. You need to be included, and you need to actually be ready. Not anything to disturb you.
Do you mind people taking notes? Like, does it annoy generally in a hearing? I don't know, in this arbitration that you had. Is it okay, like, if someone is doing something off screen, you don't know what they're doing, but they're like, yeah, sure, yeah.
That's perfect. I mean, it comes from a real life arbitration or litigations. When you're taking notes.
Okay.
In that circumstances, just make sure that you mic on mute. The worst thing which you might try to do is actually not putting your mic on mute and start typing, and actually disturbing the whole hearings and all of that by changing the papers, clippers, typing, and all of that. Yeah, but the rest is perfectly fine. Be casual in that respect, I think. Do what helps you to address your case better. Judges, I believe our judges seen everything, notes, typing, and all of that, but please make sure that you're not disturbing and not dragging attention to you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot. As a reminder, Wargaming is the company where one of the finalists, the winners of one of the previous legal challenges, works for, I think, quite a lot of years.
Yep.
I mean, what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, Anastasia started 4 years ago. Through that time, she changed offices.
Yeah.
She started in her motherland in Ukraine, Kiev. She worked with our 2 products. One, a new product, which we hope to be on the market very soon. Really cool product. It allowed her to speak with their impressive, really experienced team and work with them and get into video games with them. And then she moved here to HQ in Cyprus.
To Nicosia.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, it's some journey.
So that's like you're one of the 3 companies that hired one of the finalists. So one of the 4 companies, I think. So that's the proof to all the competitors or people considering to compete in the next challenge that this is a pathway. If you're good, then you'll get an email from a games company or a law firm saying,
For
"Hey,
sure.
we loved how you spoke." Okay, thanks a lot, Roman. We'll see you shortly during the hearings. And we thank you for all your commitment to this. And now I'm going to say thank you to all the sponsors that you see on the screen, all the law firms and the games companies that help us run the summit and the challenge. Thank you.